Today, we're going to finally talk about the Etihad interview process. Yes, guys, I'm spilling the tea or I'm spilling the mate, the way you want to call it. If you're new here, welcome to this channel. My name is Chamila. I am your recruitment bestie, as I would like you to remember me. I have been in the aviation industry for over 16 years, actually almost 17. I had the opportunity to fly as an Emirates cabin crew member, and I did my transition onto Recruitment Advisor purposefully and intentionally to support aspirants and to also help candidates land safely on their position. Specifically speaking from my side on the cabin crew position, very specifically, and as a mentor as well, I coach pilots, cabin crew members, and ground staff, dispatchers, ground handlers, you name it. So in this video, we're going to speak about one of the mostly frequent asked questions, and that is, how is the full Etihad Airways cabin crew interview process? From the very first part until the moment you actually get your job offer. Now, as usual, I find that the majority of you are finding amazing value on these videos and yet you're not subscribed. It helps us really bring you more often and frequently the videos, and it also helps us spread the word, help more candidates as you to take off. And so I would like to ask you to please subscribe on the YouTube channel. And of course, if you are finding it useful and you want to spread the word, just share this video with a friend and even comment on the below section so we can also answer your inquiries. Having said that, let's begin with today's videos. And first of all, I'm opening up one of the most crucial websites for your information. This is the type of video where you grab your pen, your notebook, and you take valuable notes, because I'm going to speak a lot in details on the process. Now, for your information, I have another video where I speak about all the requirements to become an Etihad cabin crew member. I have students flying in the company already. And first of all, you must make sure you open the Career Etihad tab, okay? Where you are going to find, of course, all the details on the requirements and so much more. And then eventually you have the Apply Now button on the lowest part of the website. And today's videos, I'll walk you through the step-by-step process on how you are going to be able to take off as a cabin crew member like my students did. The first stage, of course, is the application process. You need to make sure that you read the requirements. If you also have any doubts, please check the video where I explain them in details. And you have a good CV, that is a good criteria. For your information, I also have a CV guide on my website that you can make use of. All of you who have already used the CV guide happily were shortlisted in not one airline, but in several airlines. So well done. You can use the CV guide from there, where I explain to you in depth what to do, how to do, and create the perfect ATS-friendly CV. And take formal photos, okay? Remember that it's extremely important that you take your professional photos before your application. Of course, because you need to include the passport size photo on the CV, as I explained to you on a previous video. And of course, I give you the guidelines on the CV guide. And when you apply for the cabin crew position, counting on each and every single one of the requirements fulfilled, okay? You are going to go on to an application revision. That is exactly what happens. You submit your CV and photos and you automatically get an email saying, thank you for your application. We're taking a few moments to review your application. And if you are successful, you get invited to do a video assessment. Of course, the video assessment is applicable for those of you who are going onto a whole recruitment process online, okay? And also, if you have applied for the position, there is not an open day anywhere nearby your country, or in your country, and you're going to go through the first stages until they open an open day in your country. You have to do this first part online. So the video assessment is going to consist of 78 questions, and I'm going to explain to you each and every single one of the parts of the video assessment. So the first thing you need to know about the video assessment is that it's going to be performed in the HireVue platform, okay? And it's going to take you through different stages inside the video assessment. The first stage is that you can double check you have good camera connection, you have good microphone connection. And what are the suggestions I always give are normally on my social media platforms, but for your information, you should have a wonderful internet connection. Always have a backup plan, guys. Make sure if you're doing the HireVue interview and something happens for any reason, maybe you cannot proceed on the video assessment with your computer, make sure you have a phone at hand. You really don't want to have your video assessment completely blocked and you cannot come back to it on the moment that something just happens, okay? So always have a backup plan. At the same time, have wonderful lighting. I prefer to suggest you to do it in the morning instead of in the afternoon because you have natural light, okay? As you can see it here. And always, always, always make sure you are fitting the criteria of grooming standards. Ladies, always preferably wear a skirt, and always guys and ladies, of course, wear a jacket at all times. That is my piece of advice. This is how I prepare my students in an impeccable manner, okay? So you want to make sure you fit the grooming standards of the company. Moving on to the first part, you're going to ask to click on the I agree, the consent of the agreement when it comes to being recorded and the privacy policies of the company, and therefore you have to consent it and then move forward. The first question, and I would really like to suggest you to be stood up, be fully present and be fully recorded, like full length recording. The first question is going to be, please tell us your height, your work experience, and also what motivated you to apply for the Etihad cabin crew position. Now, a few things about this question and the whole parts where you get to record answers for the video assessment. You have unlimited attempts, guys, but I would not suggest you to look for the absolute mostly perfect type of answers because, first of all, you are human beings and we're going to see it when it gets to us, when we review that as a recruiter. I will always tell you to be yourself and be natural, so don't seek perfection because as well, it's going to take you forever to record every single time and look for the perfect answer. So don't do that. Avoid doing that. I mean, yes, you can look for an optimization, but don't look for perfection. And second of all, always consider that you have to be yourself. Moving on to the second part of your video assessment, you're going to have to answer, of course, recorded for further questions. And for your information, and if you want to follow my piece of advice, you can be seated down for the recording. That is going to take you in between 10 to 15 minutes maximum. Again, do not overdo it because you're going to take forever. And those are typical behavioral questions that in Etihad are being assessed. One of the most crucial ones is, at Etihad, we value individuals who are driven purposefully and always looking ahead. Can you tell us about a time when you were excited to pursue a new opportunity or challenge? What motivated you to go after it, and how did that experience lead you to apply for this role at Etihad? Now, a few things you need to consider is that for the answers of this type of questions, which are behavioral questions, you should make sure that you can align your answers with what Etihad is looking for. So I will always suggest you to consider the implications of the role you're applying for, and this is the cabin crew position, and also understand the culture of Etihad Airways, which is a lot different from other companies, for example, like Emirates, okay? They are completely different. I left a video commenting on the differentiations amongst each company and what they value the most, but make sure you're precise and on point, okay? Don't take forever because it's not supposed to be looking like that. And also be precise, answer right and directly, but don't be too brief, okay? Just put the other person into context, put the person who is going to be listening to you in the really near future in the context, and speak in a positive way. Let's move on to the third part of the video assessment with Etihad Airways. Now, this part is going to be about assessing your performance on board. When it comes to giving you real-life scenarios, they are 8 questions, and you're going to take around 10-12 minutes maximum. But again, see how it goes with you. You're going to have to answer from a cabin crew perspective. If you have aviation background, amazing. If you don't have aviation background, always put yourself in the shoes of a cabin crew member. Again, by acknowledging the implications and the responsibilities of the role, and also understanding what are the best practices to handle challenges on board, okay? Always, always, always pursue the very best of the well-being, the comfort, of course, safety. But what I want you to consider is that you are being assessed big time on this one, because we want to see if you have the profile that is aligned with the cabin crew position. Moving on to the fourth stage of the interview process with Etihad Airways, you have to know your flight. You're going to be provided with several resources. There will be information provided over there, and you will have to go through analyzing a flight information, and you will also have to do calculations and be quick and be extremely accurate on the way you are going to be answering these questions. You have 6 questions and around 8 minutes, so you'd better understand that your accuracy will definitely matter on the ultimate result of this beautiful video assessment. Every detail counts. Don't rush, but don't take forever. You're going to have to go through calculations mentally. Please avoid trying any ways of means of cheating. That's not going to be fine. And now it's time to move on to the 5th part of the video assessment. This is the part where you tell your story. You're going to tell about your educational background, your work experience, even those experiences that helped you gain a lot of more understanding of how you can interact with customers, with guests, with passengers, if you have aviation backgrounds. So tell the story so you can make sure that you are aligning your storytelling with Etihad's culture, with the cabin crew position, with how you gain interest as well in applying for the role itself. So make sure you mix and match, if you want to call it, and the story is going to stand out from your perspective. Please be yourself. By no means use AI tools as ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini or any other resources, because ultimately we want to see your real true self. The last part of your interview is describing your approach to guests and passengers, or customers, if you want to call it. You have 39 questions, which are going to be divided into somewhat, most, somewhat, or most. So you're going to have the screen divided. I leave the example over here, and you're going to have to choose the one that feels most suitable for you. Always focus on comfort, on safety, of course, on well-being, on creating positive atmosphere and environment. Remember that it's all about how you go about your interview process, your teamwork capacities, and so much more. So always make sure you can align your answers both to your background experience and, of course, what's expected from you. Having finished your video assessment, if you are successful, you're going to go through a virtual assessment, an online assessment that is going to be completely different nowadays because this is a new update on Etihad Airways interview process. And yes, it's going to be done on Zoom meetings, and you are going to be assessed by a human being, by us recruiters, but in a virtual manner. So basically speaking, you're going to gather in a chosen date you previously picked up at your own convenience, and of course at the best suitable timing, because Etihad Airways recruitment team, they know the candidates come literally from all over the globe. And you're going to gather in a Zoom meeting in a group manner. So many candidates from literally all over the places are going to be online at that day. Of course, make sure your grooming is impeccable, and you're going to have 3 recruiters. Now, the virtual assessment is going to be live. There will be an eliminatory phase that is going to be the group dynamic. The first part of the virtual assessment is going to be the company's presentation. The recruiters are going to welcome you on to that day's session for the virtual assessment as if it was an open day or an in-person walk-in event. And this is what we used to call final interview stage. Now, I would like to remind you that the virtual assessment is company's presentation and quiz. Yes, you're going to be asked questions on the company's presentation and other things as well. You're going to have then a second stage of breakout rooms. So basically you're going to go to different rooms where group dynamics are going to take place, and that is the eliminatory phase. If you are successful, let's move on to what's going to happen on your literal final interview in a one-to-one level with a recruiter. The final interview with the recruiter, okay, remember you're going to go to a separate virtual room and you are going to be assessed grooming checks, your personal image check. You are going to be asked about tattoos, any birthmarks or any marks, any really visible and obvious huge scars, for example, and overall appearance. They will ask you to show your neck, of course, your arms, and ultimately they will ask you to please smile properly so they can also assess your smile. So don't be shy on that stage. When we do this kind of virtual assessments, we really want to make sure you are a great fit for the company. Now, the questions that are going to be asked are 3 types of questions on a final interview. That's what always happens. And recently, Etihad Airways has included role plays. Yes, we play the role of being a customer and you're going to be the person resolving the issue. So be very ready, because that, guys, is going to be eliminatory as well. So be very prepared. And again, if you want to work with me on a one-to-one level so I can teach you and train you personally on your role plays, group dynamics strategy, and final interview for you to be the next golden call, I'll see you in my sessions. Now, the final interview, apart from the role plays, will have behavioral questions, the typical ones of tell me about a time, blah, blah, blah. Make sure you are enchanting, you're charismatic, and also you're on point. Don't go all over the places, because guys, we want you to be precise and direct. Don't give us yes or no answers, because all right, you are supposed to talk. The third type of questions are as well general situational questions. Situational questions are how would you resolve once again onboard scenarios, conflict resolution, decision-making skills, and so much more. And at the same time, general questions, for example, why do you want to join our team? Once again, we're assessing every little detail, even every little part of your hairs, everything, and of course, every word you're saying, which should be meaningful and purposefully said, okay? So make sure you are extremely purposefully speaking, and you're also very, 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 very human when you speak. Again, we don't want to see robots, so don't go through ChatGPT asking them how you can resolve this, because we're actually looking for genuine and natural people who are going to be on board, honestly connecting and interacting with other human beings, which are going to be your passengers. Well, after a final interview, you are going to receive a yes or no answer. If you get a yes answer, if this means if you are still on the recruitment process, you're going to be receiving an invitation for the English test. That is quite quickly. Normally, my students have been getting it within 2 or 3 days after the virtual assessment with recruiters. And of course, after the open day, if you ever go to an open day, you're going to receive the English test for Etihad Airways extremely quickly. To be honest with you, the English test is hard. Like, it literally requires from you an advanced level of English. Speaking, listening, writing, everything will have to be there, okay? And everything, literally everything with a really enhanced level of English. It can take you from 1 hour till 2 hours. I had known people who took longer, but that was because their level of English may not be so fluent and good. And successful completion of your English test will mean job offer. Job offer, formalities, documentations, and so much more. And you're going to take off in Etihad Airways like a cabin crew member. Now, what are my suggestions? Prepare well in advance and with enough time, guys, because generally speaking, huge is the competition out there in the market. I coach everyday mentees for their interview processes in the Middle East, and Etihad is gaining so much a wonderful reputation from candidates that lately everyone is applying for the Etihad cabin crew position. So if you want, again, to make sure and guarantee your beautiful performance on your interview with Etihad, or in Emirates, or in Qatar, or Riyadh, or Fly Dubai, or any company you might think of, and you want to work on a one-to-one level with me, I'll see you in my sessions. And I hope this video has brought clarity. For now, cheers, mates. Bye.